morning students, welcome once again to online video class from PCHSS Bangalore. So today I am going to continue that chapter of diversity of class 11. Okay, which chapter? That is diversity. Now diversity, as we had completed diversity, somewhat parts are left from the chapter of diversity, like the diversity in the previous class. I have taught you about the diversity. Okay, now diversity on the basis of habit. On the last class I have taught you about diversity on the basis of habitat, but in this class today, diversity on the base of habit. Diversity on the basis of habit. Diversity on the basis of habit. Diversity on the basis of habit. Now plants are classified into four types. Four types on the basis of habit. On the basis of habit. What are they? First is herbs, shrubs. First one is herbs, shrubs, trees, and culms. Okay? Herbs, shrubs, trees, and culms. Plants are classified into four types on the basis of habit. The herbs. What is the other name of herbs? Herbaceous. Herbs, that is herbaceous. Generally, herbs. First point of herbs, these plants are very small. Okay, these plants are very small, having a green color. Having a green color stem, on the stem, on the surface of the stem, it is green due to the presence of abundance of parenchymal cells. Okay, herbs. Presence of green stems, where chlorophyll is abundant in it. Okay. Now the examples are herbs. The examples are mint, grass. These are all what? No? Herbs. Next is shrubs. So, shrubs. The other name of shrubs is fruticose. What it is called? Fruticose. It has hollow. It has cylindrical stems. It has cylindrical stem with many branches. Okay, these are generally larger than shrubs. Are generally larger than herbs. Shrubs are generally larger than herbs. Examples of shrubs: rose, China rose, tulsi. These are the examples of shrubs which are generally larger than shrubs. Next is trees. What is next is trees? The other name of trees are arborescent. What is the other name of tree? Arborescents. And trees are classified into three types. Trees. Number C, trees. What is the other name of trees? Arborescent. Okay. First point of trees, well developed vascular tissue are found. Vascular tissue are found. Number 2, woody stem. Which kind of stem? Woody stem. Formation of branches takes place with hanging roots. With hanging roots of some species. Okay? So trees. Now trees are again classified into 3 types. Trees are again classified into what? 3 types. How many types? 3 types. What are they? First is caudex. C-A-U-D-E-X, caudex. Second one is excurrent. Caudex, excurrent. Number 3 is deliquescent. Deliquescent. So into how many categories trees are classified? Caudex 3 types. That is caudex, excurrent and deliquescent. Now caudex. Caudex is what? What is the examples of caudex? Caudex means the plants which are having, which it doesn't, the caudex having a very strong stem and unbranched, and the branch remains unbranched. Okay, and at the apical region, and at the apex, crown leaves are formed. And at the apex, what? No, crown leaves are formed in case of caudex. In which case? In case of caudex. Suppose I am here drawing the structure. So this is the structure of a plant of called caudex having a what? No, crown leaves. Having a what? Crown leaves. Remains unbranched. There is no branch. There is no formation of branch takes place in caudex. In case of caudex. In case of caudex, no branch formation takes place. Having got a crown-like what? Crown-like leaves are present. The best examples of caudex are dates. Dates and palms. Dates and palms are the best examples of caudex. Next is excurrent. What is called excurrent? In case of excurrent, at the basal region, the stem is broader, and while the stem goes upward, while the stem at the apex region it is narrower, and at the base it is broader. At the base it is broader, and at the apex region it is narrower. So as a result of that, it forms what? It forms a conical-like structure. It forms what? A conical-like structure in case of excurrent. Here, look at here. The base is broader and the apex is what? Narrower. Base is broader and the apex is narrower. This is the example of what? No? Sorry. It is this kind of plants are called excurrent. This kind of plants are called what? No? Excurrent. Okay? Here the stem is broader. Broader stem at the base. Broader stem at the base and at the apex region, and at the apex means upper region, and at the apex stem is narrower. Stem is what? No, narrow. This is excurrent. But in case of deliquescent, what happens in deliquescent? In case of deliquescence, at the apex region, all the leaves get dies. Okay, at the axillary bud, at the apex region of the tree, the leaves and the leaves gets dies, and subsequent after the leaves get dies, and at the lower parts, the branch formation takes abundantly. And the formation of branch takes abundantly. That is called deliquescence. That is called deliquescence. What is called deliquescence? Deliquescence at the apex region, the parts of plants get dies. And at the lower region, formation of branch. And at the lower region, formation of branch takes place, and formations of numerous branch. Formation of numerous branches takes place. In case of deliquescence, at the apex region, parts of plants get dies, and at the lower region, formations of numerous branch takes place. In case of deliquescence, the best example of deliquescence is tamarindus. The best example of deliquescence is tamarindus. Okay, so trees are classified into three types: caudax, excurrent, and deliquescence. Okay, next is remaining is one of culms. What is called culms? In case of culms, the nodes and internodes parts are prominent. The nodes and internodes parts are prominent in case of culms. The best example of culm is bamboo. Which is the best example of culms? The best example of culms is bamboo. Look at it. Culms. Here is the structure of a bamboo tree, and this is the part of what? No, nodes. This is the part of nodes, where the nodes and internodes are prominent. This is the structure of a bamboo tree. The structure of a bamboo tree. Okay. So these are the nodes. These are called nodes, where the nodes are prominent. These are nodes. These are nodes, and the junctions between two nodes are called internodes. What it is called? Internodes. Internodes, where the nodes and internodes are prominent. So the best example of culms are what? Bamboo. Example is bamboo. Finished? Diversity on the basis of habit. Now diversity on the basis of lifespan. Diversity on the basis of lifespan. Next is diversity on the basis of lifespan. Next is diversity on the basis of lifespan. First one is ephemerals. So what are called ephemerals? Ephemerals are the plants which are drought evaders. Ephemerals are the plants which are known to be as drought evaders. Drought evaders. They complete their lifespan is there as lifespan is mentioned. So you have to write what you have to write over here. They complete their lifespan within a very shorter period of time. With a shorter period of time. Naturally, as ephemerals are the plants which are grows in a very dry conditions. Okay, in spite of being growing at a dry condition, but it not completely grows at a dry condition. It goes away from the dry conditions. It just goes away from the dry conditions. So that's why they are called drought evaders. They are called the drought evaders. Being it is in the form of xeric conditions, they completely doesn't grow in a dry condition. Somehow they require little amount of water for growth. So such kind of plants are called ephemerals. That is drought evaders. They complete the life cycle within a very short period of time. Example: argemone, mexicana. Archimon mexicana. Okay? They complete the life cycle within a very short period of time, and they grow in the condition in xeric. They grows in the condition of xeric. They grows in the condition of xeric. Okay? Example: Archimon mexicana. Clear? That is ephemerals. Number 2, annuals. Annuals, they complete the life cycle within 1 year. They complete the life cycle within a year. They are called annuals. They complete their life cycle within a year, called annuals. Example: rice, wheat. So these are the examples of annuals. Next is biennials. What about biennials? They complete their life cycle within 2 years. Within 2 years, they complete the life cycle within 2 years. They are called biennials. Biennials means bi means 2. So they complete the life cycle within 2 years. So in 2 years, in the first year, they develop themselves. And by vegetative propagation, they develop themselves by the formations of stems, leaves, buds. Okay? So that is called what? No? Vegetative growth. That is called what? Vegetative growth. But in the second year, they attain the conditions to become a condition of fertilized. And in that conditions, they help for what? No, fertilization. They help for that. In that conditions, these kinds of plants attain what? No, fertilization in the second year. But in first year, they grows by formations of leaves, stems, buds. But in case of second year, they attain the reproductive phase. Okay, by the formations of flowers and the formations of pollen grains and stigma. Clear? So that kind of plants are called biennials. Biennials. They complete their life cycle within 2 years. They complete their life cycle within 2 years. So that's what they are called biennials. In the first year, the plants attains the vegetative growth by the production of leaves, stems. Okay, the plant attains the vegetative growth by the production of leaves, stems in the first year, and in the second year, these plants attains the reproductive phase. Okay, examples: radish, turnips, carrots. Okay, radish, turnip and carrots. Biennials. They complete the life cycle within 2 years. First year, the plants attains the vegetative growth by the production of leaves, stems. and in the second year these plants attach the reproductive phase. Reproductive phase, okay? The best examples of biennials are radish, turnip and carrots. Next is annuals. Number 4 is annuals. Number 4, annuals. No, not annual, that is perennial, sorry. Perennials. Perennials. They have a longer lifespan. They have a longer lifespan. Such kind of plants having what? No, perennials. They have a longer lifespan. Okay? Now, examples of perennials are mango, peepal, banyan. Clear? Perennials are mango, peepal, banyan. Now, so the lifespan of certain peepal plants are banyan plant 200 years, 200 years, and peepal 2000 years. Okay? Now, perennials, they have a longer lifespan. Example, mango, peepal, banyan. The lifespan of banyans are more than 200 years and peepal more than 2000 years. Okay? No, sorry, here, so this is 200 years, not 2000. 200 years, peepal, and banyan 2000 years. Okay? So, diversity on the basis of lifespan is over. Now, diversity on the basis of their size. Diversity on the basis of their size. Diversity on the basis of their size. First one is smallest angiospermic plant. Smallest angiospermic plant. Ulfia. Which plant? Ulfia. Diameter 0.5 millimeter. What is the diameter of the Ulfia plant? That is 0.5 millimeter. It is the smallest angiosperm. Now, tallest angiosperm. Tallest angiosperm is Eucalyptus regnans. The botanical name of tallest angiosperm is Eucalyptus regnans. Eucalyptus regnans, having a length of 100 to 120 meter. Having a length of 100 to 120 meter. So the tallest angiospermic plant is Eucalyptus regnans, which is called a medicinal plant also. Smallest angiosperm is Ulfia, tallest angiosperm is Eucalyptus regnans, and the largest angiospermic plant is Ficus bengalensis. Ficus bengalensis. Okay? Ficus bengalensis. That is which kind of tree? That is banyan tree. Banyan tree. Which tree is this? Banyan tree. So it is the largest angiospermic plant, that is Ficus bengalensis, having not having. It occupies an area. It occupies an area of 2 to 5 acre land. So it can occupy an area of 2 to 5 acre lands with more than 200 crop roots, more than 200 crop roots, which is called hanging roots. Okay? Such kind of plants possessing which kind of root? That is crop root. Which kind of root? That is crop root. Which kind of plant? That is Ficus banyan trees. That is banyan tree. Which tree? That is banyan tree. So diversity on the basis of their size. Next. Taxonomy. What is called taxonomy? Taxonomy. It refers to the study of rules, principles, and procedure of living organisms according to their similarities and dissimilarities. Okay? So what is called taxonomy? It refers to the study of rules, principles and procedures of living organisms according to the similarities and dissimilarities. Okay? That is called taxonomy. What are the components of taxonomy? Components of taxonomy are characterization, identification, classification, and nomenclature. Nomenclature means giving of name, giving a name. Characterization, identification, classification, and nomenclature. So how the organisms are classified? The organisms are classified on the basis of identification, nomenclature, and characterizations. Okay? By this way, organisms are classified. Now, the types of taxonomy. How many types of taxonomy are there? 3 types. 3 types. First one is cytotaxonomy. Number 2, chemotaxonomy. Number 3, numerical taxonomy. So 3 types of taxonomy are there: cytotaxonomy, chemotaxonomy, numerical taxonomy, which are to be discussed in the next class. Which is cytotaxonomy, chemotaxonomy, numerical taxonomy. Next class on the next chapter, not in this chapter. Okay? Cytotaxonomy, chemotaxonomy, numerical taxonomy. Now, so nomenclature. Nomenclature means what? What is called nomenclature? Nomenclature means it is a process of giving a name to a certain living organism. It is a process of giving a name to a living organisms are called what? No? Nomenclature. What it is called? Nomenclature. Nomenclature, sir. So nomenclature is classified into many types: binomial nomenclature, trinomial nomenclature. Basically, 2 types of nomenclature: there is binomial nomenclature and trinomial nomenclature are there. Okay? Now generally, the meaning of the species many of the species consonant to which kind of nomenclature? That is binomial nomenclature. Which kind of nomenclature? Binomial nomenclature. Nomenclature. Basically, it is divided into two types, that is binomial and trinomial. The main important point to be discussed is that is what is binomial nomenclature. Which nomenclature? Binomial nomenclature. What is called binomial nomenclature? The components of binomial nomenclature except the binomial nomenclatures. The components of binomial nomenclatures are genus and species. What are the components of binomial nomenclature? The components of binomial nomenclature are genus and species. Okay? While writing a scientific name, so two names have to be mentioned. Suppose the common name. Suppose I am giving a common name of a human. Okay? The common name of human, as we know, human. Now, it is a common name. Now, the scientific name of human is Homo sapiens. What it is? Homo sapiens sapiens. Okay? That is the scientific name of human. Now, again I am giving an example of a mango. So, mango, that is the botanical name of mango is Mangifera indica. Mangifera is genus and indica is a species. Remember it. Mangifera is a genus and indica is a species. Now, in case of binomial nomenclature, that is two names we have to mention for a single name. For a single name, we have to mention a two name. One is genus and another one is a specific epithet. Okay? Genus and specific epithet. Specific epithet. Okay? Suppose I am giving an example of mango. Mango, the genus name is, general name is what? Mangifera indica. Mangifera. So, genus is Mangifera and the specific epithet is what? Indica. And this kind of scientific name is used worldwide. But in case of in India, so we can call a mango. So the name of a mango in the different states, the mango is to be called with a different name. Okay, in Korea we call it is and in Bengali it is called and in Hindi it is called what? It is also called but in case of Telugu it is called what? Morpandu. So different names. So different names of mangoes are there in different states. Okay, so in different states the name of the mangoes are spoken in different language of this mango. Clear? So Mangifera indica. So Mangifera indica, that is called what? No? Mango. The genus is Mangifera and the species is indica. Okay? So genus is Mangifera and specific epithet is indica. And this particular name, Mangifera indica, is used in worldwide. But in India, in different states, it is called by different name. Okay? But Mangifera indica, it is used in worldwide. So, while writing a scientific name, the first letter should be, the first letter of the genus should be in capital letter, and in case of species, the first letter should be small letter. Okay? So, while writing scientific name, you have to underline the genus and specific epithet separately. Okay? If you are not writing in a italics way, or if you are not writing in italics way, then you have to mention or you have to underline it separately. If you are writing in the italics way, so no need to underline it. Okay? So binomial nomenclature. Now sometimes both genus and species, when the name of genus is similar to the name of species, and that type and that condition is called what? Tautonyms. What it is called? Tautonyms. When the condition is called tautonyms, when the name of the genus is similar to the name of species, that is called tautonyms. Tautonyms. What is called tautonyms? Tautonyms. When the name of genus is similar to the name of species is called tautonyms. Is called tautonyms. Example: katla, it is a fish. Ratus, ratus, rat. Here both Katla and Katla, Ratus and Ratus, both the genus and specific name are similar. So that condition is called tautonym. When the condition is called tautonym, when the name of genus is similar to the name of species. Katla, Katla is there, Ratus, Ratus is there. Another is snake, there is Naga, Naga. Understood? Next. So in case of binomial nomenclature, some codes are there. Some codes are there for the detection of binomial nomenclature. What are the codes? I am giving you now. Codes for binomial nomenclature. Binomial nomenclature. First one is ICBN. What does this stand for? International codes for botanical nomenclature. Botanical nomenclature. Number 2, ICZN, International codes for zoological nomenclature. Number 3, ICBAN, International Code of Bacterial Nomenclature. International codes for bacterial nomenclature. Number 4, ICVN, International Codes for Viral Nomenclature. Virus nomenclature. Next, number 5, ICNCP, International Code of Nomenclature for Cultivated Plants. International codes International codes of nomenclature of cultivated plants. So these are the codes for binomial nomenclature. Who given the term taxonomy Carolus Linnaeus? Who given the term taxonomy Carolus Linnaeus? Carolus Linnaeus given the term taxonomy. Two books written by Linnaeus were Species Plantarum which was published in 1753, and Systema Natura. Systema Natura. In 1758. Remember it. So the date we have to remember. 1753, that is Species Plantarum, and in 1758 Systema Natura. Okay? Carolus Linnaeus given the term taxonomy. Two books written by Linnaeus were Species Plantarum and Systema Natura. Okay? So diversity, the 2/3 parts of diversity chapter is over and 1/3 of chapter is left. So this 1/3 of chapter will be explained on the next class. Okay? Now till then, until then, bye.